It's been a tough couple weeks. How do you kind of stop the snowball from rolling down the hill?
Just got to get back to work. Wasn't our best foot forward in that game. Really just let things slip away from us, and it just goes back to the details and the discipline, and you build that in practice. So, that's just something we're going to have to get back to work and get back to the drawing board during the bye week. We have some extra time to focus on stuff like that and not as much of a game plan. So that's just really what we need to be doing through the bye week and focusing on those little things.
I know it's probably difficult right after the game, but in the moment, that first quarter felt like everything was firing on all cylinders.
Yeah.
And then it's just a bunch of roadblocks after that. Is there any way to put your finger on kind of what's going right versus, how when things are going wrong?
Yeah, I think, when things are going right like that and you have the momentum in an SEC home game, you have to keep it. And, I think it speaks to the way, sometimes as a team, I think we need to grow up in some areas where it's a 4-quarter game. One thing, they responded. Missouri was down 14-0 in the first quarter. You can flip it that way, and they responded, and we didn't. And when they punched us, we didn't respond. And I think that's something as a team we need to grow up and realize it's a 4-quarter game. There's so much football left to be played after one thing, and we can't let one mistake become 2 and 2 become 3. And that just top to bottom as a team, everybody, all of us included. So that's something we just need to focus on, play all 4 quarters.
Was it you didn't have Jagger there, but Horsey was back? What was that adjustment like? And
yeah, it's not too big of an adjustment, honestly. Dylan's played 4 of the 5 positions through training camp, so he was prepared to play right guard. And Ken has been playing left guard for a very, very long time here, very, very long time. So it felt like we didn't really miss a beat there with him coming back.
Eli, penalties kind of seem to be the story of NIU, 14 for 122. How is that something that you guys can fix, as the weeks go on?
It just goes back to discipline. It's you can't beat anyone until you stop beating yourself, and I think those penalties just comes down to being a disciplined football team, and we were not that tonight. And it's something we need to work on in practice. Whatever we can do, we can get with the guys and get with the coaches, figure out what we can do to fix it, because it's something that needs to be fixed, it needs to be addressed, and it's something I'm sure we'll be doing this week.
Eli, basically everybody has said you all weren't happy with how you responded to adversity last year. Given what happened this week and after the fake punt today, how do you turn that around, I guess, and make sure this doesn't spiral out?
It's just going to take our leaders and our team to step up. Our coaches can say whatever they want. They can have the perfect game plan, and things cannot go your way all the time. But at the end of the day, the guys are the ones out there on the field, and we have to be the guys to step it up. Our leaders have to take accountability for this team, and we need to play a more disciplined brand of football, and we need to grow up and just respond.
When he's talking about you have to leave.
Can't blame it on anything, I think is what he means by that. Just ultimate accountability. And I think we're the guys that made the plays, whether they were good or bad, and you have to own that, is what he means.
Mental toughness?
Yeah, definitely. It's not going to be easy to watch the film when there's plays. There's plays everyone's going to want back, myself included, multiple, that, if you'd just done something a little different, the outcome could be very different in the game, and when bullets are flying, stuff like that happens, and we have to be able to respond. And when he says own it just means when we get in Monday or whenever we do this week, to watch those mistakes, own it, be accountable to our teammates, because it takes all 11 of us all the time, and I think that's what he means by owning it.
Deone, how vital was it for you guys to clean up maybe the silly penalties that occur out there?
It was great. It's very vital. We gotta be more disciplined as a team. And that's on the leaders, that's on the captains. It's only so much that the coaches can do. And that's something that we got to take more pride in as a team, to worry about getting better for our team's sake and stopping the emotional penalties, because a lot of them were just that. And we got to learn how to play with passion but not emotion.
Is that a fine line?
I would say so, yeah. When you play with emotion, you got ups, downs, all that. But when you play with just the joy and love of football, then nothing can waver.
What's the kind of the message among the kind of leadership to make sure that things don't sort of spiral?
With Coach Stoops, it was just we got to work on us. We lost us the game. Missouri's a great team, everyone knows that, but there were just times where we just shot ourselves in the foot. And as leaders, like I said, we got to work on us, work on our discipline, work on when we get mad, not lashing out. Stop playing with emotion, playing with more passion, and just being more together as a team.
It's been a tough last couple of weeks. How do you all rebound going forward with the rest of the schedule left to go?
Number one is getting healthy. We wanted to go 6-1 going into the bye week, but it doesn't always pan out. So we just got to work on recovery, get back at it, have a short-term memory, and just work on getting better.
You said a couple weeks ago that you hate losing more than you love winning. So how do you make sure that the lingering taste of the losses can be turned into a positive?
No matter what, you got good and you got bad during the game, even with the Georgia game, we did a lot of good. As a defensive line, we did a lot of bad, but it's just about keeping the good and negating the bad.
Deone, team-wise, I know the last 2 weeks has not been what you guys wanted, but individually, personally, how do you feel like the first half of the season has gone for you? It feels like you're making more and more plays as each week goes by.
Yeah, but I don't really think about that, It's not about me, it's about the team, And if our team not succeeding, I'm not succeeding, Because I can't just go out there, drop 30, 40 points and win, I need my brothers right next to me.
Brad, things really kind of got away from the team there for a while. What's the message to make sure that this team does stay together?
Yeah, I'm sure Coach already talked about it in his post game, so I haven't seen what he said, but what he talked about, in the locker room after the game, those guys need to take heart. Listen, we still got, whatever it is, 5 games left in this season coming off of the bye. So stick together, right? Regroup, and let's go.
Right after the penalties were such a problem at Georgia last week, shows up again tonight. Key moments. How do you all address that? Is it something about not responding? Is it a discipline thing? How does it fix the issue?
Yeah, it's something we got to get fixed, and can't let emotions get the best of us. That one. We had stopped a 2-point play, like we had kept points off the board, and it's a silly penalty. And it stemmed from, a previous play, and guys get their emotions hot, and they've got to understand that sometimes turning the other cheek isn't a sign of weakness. You're not getting pumped. And if they don't call it on the I get it. Sometimes it's frustrating, and I gotta keep it to myself. I know our guys create knockback. I know our guys can rush the passer, and I think they get a little frustrated by the lack of maybe things going their way, but they gotta, at the end of the day, they gotta control it.
I'm sure Drew probably feels that way as well. How do you what's your message to him when they were kind of going after him a little bit there? How do you keep his head up?
He's our guy. Him and Max are our corners, and I've got to do some stuff to try to lighten the load and protect them in certain circumstances, and I've got full trust, and he'll respond because that's the kind of competitor he is. And is it hard? Heck yeah, it's hard. And it's hard playing out there on the island, and especially out to the field. It gets harder to protect that guy out there. The field space at times is sort of the protector, where the ball's into the boundary, they come out quicker, but we've got to continue to do ways to just sort of alleviate some of that stress out there.
Brad, the end of the first half has been an issue the last couple of weeks. Is there a trend that's kind of led to those 2-minute drills?
No, I mean, we just have to we got to do a better job. They sort of nickel and dimed us a little bit on the one. I've got to go back to the tape. It felt like he was tackled in bounds on the one where they stopped the clock on the sideline. I don't know. I'd have to see the tape. It just that's a huge play right there, right? They end up scoring with 15 seconds. If that's not a dead ball, there may not be any time. But then we got to execute better. Like, that's a call that they should be able to execute. On the touchdown, and we've got to play with better leverage, and make a play on the ball there.
How did not having Wallace affect things tonight?
Hey, listen, players are going to be injured sometimes, and so I thought Davern stepped up and played admirable. You always got to go back to the tape. I thought D-Jack did a great job in there, and sliding over to Will. So just got to make plays.
Taking ownership of what we need to do, players and coaches, to be able to put our guys in a better position to win a football game, because we didn't get that done tonight.
Adjustments because all those wide receivers left via the portal, is it hard to sort of hold people accountable on the drops issue because there's not anybody else available?
Yeah, it's a little thin. We're thin. We kind of, we got who we got, and we want to get those guys better. We're not giving up on anybody. We're trying to, to get everybody better every day. But we got to start throwing and catching the football better, and we got to start making sure we're throwing the ball to guys that are, catching the football. But I believe those guys. I believe in them. We're not gonna give up on them, but it's frustrating. It's hard.
Did Missouri do anything different after they got behind the 8 ball, or was it just a lack of execution on you guys?
They probably got a little bit more aggressive at times. We didn't execute very well in a lot of instances, but when we end up going back up 21-20, they come down, right, score. We come out 3 and out. We go down, 9 minutes left. We got a double post wheel concept, and we end up, kind of throwing the one-on-one go ball, and had a potential touchdown there to make it 35-28, and 9 minutes left. But we end up throwing a pick on the comeback to the sideline over there on 3rd down. So just things get magnified especially when a team is executing on their side of the ball, and then we're not executing on our side to help the defense out, which is what we needed to do tonight to win this game. We needed to score more points and didn't get it done.
Those late game interceptions from Leary, what do you attribute that to? Is that a miscommunication issue with
a couple forces? He's trying to do too much at the end. He's trying to make a play, running away from people because we didn't protect well at all on 3rd down tonight. So, I think he was probably pressing a little bit at that point. So I thought up until then, I thought he had played pretty well. I thought he was playing pretty well and managing the game really well, making some throws, made some runs, helped us out. But when things started to go in this direction, we just never really stopped the bleeding.